We have some good Tesla stock news and some not so good news. Let's go through all of today's Tesla stock news. There's a new Guru Focus update. In conclusion, they say Tesla stock appears to be significantly undervalued. The company's financial condition is strong and its profitability is fair. Its growth ranks better than 97.26% of companies in the vehicles and parts industry. And they say Tesla stock should already be $453.55. The last time I shared this with you, it was a little bit less. So Tesla stock is now lower, but their estimate of the fair price of Tesla stock actually went up. I say that's good news. Farzad commented about this Guru Focus update. It's funny that they are claiming Tesla stock is significantly undervalued without digging into Tesla's technological lead across its verticals. I wonder if that would make it even more undervalued. That's a good point. Steven says Legacy Automotive are about to have their Kodak moment, and Elon replies with, it is unfortunately trending that way for many automakers. Some companies do understand, but their pace of change is nonetheless slow. Tesla is trying to be as helpful to other car makers as possible with the transition to autonomous electric vehicles. We open source our patents, provide access to our superchargers, and have invited them to license our self-driving AI system. It took about a decade for all of these automakers to get on board with supercharging. So how long do you think it will take for them to get on board with FSD? I mean, you would hope that they learned their lesson, but they have proven to be extremely stubborn. So I think James has a point here that they will only do it once they really start bleeding. And yesterday afternoon, 3 more Cybertrucks were spotted. They are under covers, but we know exactly what they are. I was really happy to hear this, which is at this point, I think this is fairly confirmed, although we don't have the official picture of the car yet. But a Tesla employee from China who had seen the real car commented, very close with almost no difference. Personally, I really like how the car looks. Here's the second picture, but this one, I think the render is not as good. Something just feels a little off about this light placement, like how it's, I don't know, the render is just not as good here. Here's some more good news for long-term Tesla stock investors. Tesla became the world's largest supplier of energy storage systems in the first half of 2023. The company overtook BYD to top the list dominated by Chinese suppliers. The global supply of energy storage systems in the first half of 2023 reached 72.4 gigawatt hours, which is a lot, but we'll look at this number 10 years from now and we'll be like, yeah, that's nothing. And Tesla already has 10% of that. The Chinese suppliers have 65%. So the Chinese are really leading here. And that's why Tesla will have the second Megapack factory in China. And then other suppliers only account for 25%. And you can see the graph here as well. A whole bunch of refresh Model 3s were spotted being tested in China. Not just one, but a bunch of them. And here's a bit more of good Tesla stock news. Best Buy is now advertising Tesla's new Universal Wall Connector directly on the homepage of their US website. Now, why do you think they are doing that? Usually, it happens because it's just what makes the most money. So this product must be selling pretty well for Best Buy. Tesla just lost one of its most senior engineering executives. His name is Colin Campbell, and he will be leaving Tesla to join Redwood Materials, which was started by J.B. Straubel, who is currently a Tesla board member, and he also co-founded Tesla together with Elon. So some could say there's maybe a bit of conflict of interest here going on. Campbell has been with Tesla for 17 years and he was quickly promoted to senior director in charge of all powertrain development. He was responsible for the electrical, mechanical, and manufacturing engineering of high power electronics, motors, gearboxes, battery packs, and charging systems across both vehicle and energy businesses. So he was a fairly important person, relatively speaking. Specifically, most recently, he was vice president of powertrain at Tesla. And at Redwood Materials, looks like he will have a better position. He will be the chief technology officer. So he is probably getting some stock options as well, I imagine. And if the company is worth not that much right now, which seems to be worth 3.7 billion, at least as of July 2021, So it's probably a bit more now. But if the company is worth $4 billion and you get some stock options, it's much easier to double, triple, quadruple, quintuple the value of that compared to having stock options in a company that's already worth close to $1 trillion. At least that's what most people will think. And just because Revo Materials is a much smaller company and there are not as many people over there, it is much easier to really see, okay, I put in this much effort and now the company is worth this much more. Whereas with Tesla, you already have over 100,000 employees overall. It's much harder to really see, oh, I did this and therefore the stock went up by this much. So I understand why he would do that, especially if he was offered stock options. Overall, though, I would like to emphasize that for Tesla, this is not really a big deal because Tesla is extremely attracted to other engineers and so many engineers would love to work for Tesla. So recruiting for Tesla is not a problem. Tesla has a very deep bench, as we saw during the investor day. And here's some really good news that I personally really like. Tesla just had another really strong week in terms of deliveries in China based on the insurance data. We have 13.9 thousand deliveries. And you may want to compare it to this yellowish color, but that's Q4 of last year, and the end of that quarter was not really good. And we know that Tesla has pretty much, not exactly solved the end of the quarter delivery wave, but it has gotten a lot more consistent. So if we actually compare it to the previous quarter, which is in blue, oh yeah, we are doing a lot better than then. Last week, we were already a little bit ahead of the previous quarter, but now it's very clear that we are ahead. If this trend continues, we will have another record quarter in China again. James likes the numbers as well. He's projecting 470,000 deliveries for this quarter. He's talking about global deliveries, and that would be just a little bit more than what we had in the previous quarter. Gary called the numbers solid this time from China. And Sawyer usually doesn't really comment on the deliveries in terms of giving his own opinion, but this time he did. He said it's a very strong result. Here's how other Chinese automakers are doing, but keep in mind this includes a lot of hybrids. We haven't really seen these newer Cybertrucks from up close, from really up close. You can see some dirt here and how shiny they are. Probably they were driven a little bit, and yeah, that's how they will probably look after being driven a little bit. From a little further away, you can't really tell that they are dirty, but then you look up close, yeah, you can see there is some dirt on them. And you can also see the fit and finish as well a little bit better in this video. To me, overall, looks fairly good so far. Oh, that's really up close. Here you can see at the back of this truck, there's something going on here. That's the same spot, but from a slightly different angle. From this angle, it looks all right. And this is the taillight of the Cybertruck. Keep in mind, the fit and finish will probably get quite a bit better as production scales. But here you can see how everything is built and how it fits. And here's just a slightly closer shot. I guess you may even think that maybe this door is not fully closed, but I think it's actually fully closed. But if you look from a little bit further away, it looks fine. This is a different one, and this one, yeah, certainly looks fine from this angle. Also, the Cybertruck that I just showed you, the one that had these little gaps near the doors and the taillight, has this sticker on right here. So this one probably has more issues overall. I think other ones are better. Over time, Tesla will solve all of these fit and finish problems. At first, this appears to be slightly bad news for us Tesla stock investors, but actually I think it is good news once we dig a little bit further, and that is Twitter's X name change has led to a huge decrease in App Store downloads, says Mashable. And as Tesla stock investors, we don't want to hear that because that could indicate Twitter is not going to be making money and then Elon will sell more Tesla stock. Most Tesla stock investors really don't want to see that. But Elon says here that we exceeded 346 billion user seconds today, highest usage ever, apart from a spike a few months ago where multiple LLM companies tried to download our entire database simultaneously. So highest usage ever is really good because that means you can serve more ads, and if you can serve more ads, then eventually you will make more money. And if users are more engaged, they are more willing to spend money on your premium features, such as, for example, Twitter Blue, or now it's called Premium. We definitely need a feature that will enable us to edit replies. Yeah, this would have been quite helpful, right? I thought you can already do that, but turns out you can only do that if you post something on your own timeline. How can you not be beyond excited right now with 2 new vehicles about to be launched at the same time? He says that basically the Cybertruck is imminent, and the Model 3 refresh, the Highland version, is also going to expand Tesla's total addressable market because it is going to be quite a bit cheaper, hopefully. It was quite interesting to watch on Friday the sentiment around Tesla stock. It was pretty negative. After yesterday, I think it's a little bit better. But I mean, we have 2 vehicles that are coming very soon, and yet the sentiment was, I don't know. It's not great. Tesla stock sucks. I start seeing comments like, oh, Tesla stock is definitely going down below 200, maybe even 150, and some even said lower than that. If you get upset about Tesla stock movements, just maybe look at this picture for a second. That's a very real picture of a very real truck coming relatively soon. If you make vehicles and you are not Tesla, it's probably going to really suck for you really bad. Someone is complaining a little bit. Stan says, I think the Megapack ramp has been incredibly slow and no proven factory build-outs beyond Lathrop. Frankly, I'm disappointed in the rate of Megapack expansion with 20 to 40% profit margins, smaller factory footprint, easier to make than cars. Why no other factories under construction? But if you listen to the earnings call, you will remember that the first line at Lathrop is working at full capacity pretty much, and the second line is currently being installed, which will bring production to the planned 40 gigawatt hours per year number. The ramp has actually been very quick. And Elon has been going to all of these other countries. And do you think he was possibly talking about building Megapack factories? He certainly seemed quite excited about France specifically if you watched that interview in French. And let's not forget that Tesla is actually building a second Megapack factory in China. And also, if you don't have enough batteries to build all of these Megapacks, you probably don't want to build a whole bunch of factories that will just sit there doing not much. Bradford probably has the best knowledge in terms of how many Megapacks Tesla is producing right now, because he went to that factory and he sat in front of it for multiple days and he counted how many Megapacks came out. He did that earlier and I saw him doing that recently again, but I didn't really see anything new from him. Maybe he's just keeping that information for himself. I'm not really sure what happened there. But he says we don't know exactly how many Megapacks Tesla is making right now. Also, he's warning that everything has a ramp, even closets full of batteries. Server closets full of batteries. I think that's a really good way to describe Megapacks. The Tesla Economist has a fairly decent point here. He basically says that the lower the price of the Cybertruck is going to be, the higher the stock is going to go. I think that's roughly right, because a low price of the Cybertruck would signal that the cost to make a Cybertruck are very low. Forbes has this article that says that Tesla started shipping Cybertrucks, and there's a bit of a backlash that Forbes, I think, is experiencing. Yeah, I don't think any Cybertrucks are being shipped to customers. They are shipped around the country, but when you say shipped, I think most people expect that you mean shipped to customers. Remember these rumors about Tesla potentially building something in this city or this area? Well, the mayor of the city just held talks with Tao Lin, Tesla's global vice president. She actually came there, but I don't know if anything really is going to happen. I think this comment overall is going to be pretty accurate. I wouldn't read too much into it. The government is constantly pushing companies above a certain size to go to the north and northwest of China. They send out a visiting party, take some pictures, some nice words are exchanged, and it's a show for everyone, and then nothing happens later. So even though that happens a lot, the difference here is it's Tao Lin, Tesla's global vice president. So why do they send someone that has such a high position, they could just send some lower ranking executive, for example. So perhaps Tesla is actually considering something, but for now, I wouldn't read too much into it, but something perhaps is going on. Maybe they just want to open a huge service center. Maybe they just want to build a lot of new superchargers all over that area. We have more good Tesla stock news. Tesla has tied Lexus for the lead in luxury satisfaction. And some people say Tesla vehicles are now luxury vehicles. Well, this proves otherwise. This is from new data from ACSI. After Lexus led 1% to 83, the company now shares the top spot with Tesla, which accelerated 4%. This is insanity. Remember VinFast? They just IPO'd. It's a Vietnamese EV maker, and today its stock is up 114% with a market cap of $171 billion. Tesla stock has a market cap of about $720 billion. So you're saying that Tesla is only worth 4 times as much as this company? This company has sold under 100,000 vehicles globally in the last 4 years combined. And look at this new vehicle from them with a battery pack of 82 kilowatt hours. It is only rated for 200 miles. This makes no sense. I had to double check that Sawyer did not make a mistake. And yes, the stock went up today by more than 100% in one single day. That is insanity, people. I mean, looking at that stock movement, I'm really stunned. It really stuns me. It seems to me someone is going to get seriously hurt investing into this company. And YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this Elon Musk interview, watch this one first. My name is Matt. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.